welcome to the Lost World Minute, the minute-by-minute podcast reviewing 1997 sequel to Jurassic Park, 1 minute at a time. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And today we're discussing minute 24 of The Lost World. Dave, how you been?
I've been good. How about yourself?
Yeah, been a busy week actually. Getting excited for Jurassic June. It's fully underway now by the time this comes out. Lots of great activities around. Check out Twitter. I know the Jurassic June the Jurassic June Twitter account's pretty busy this time of year. Jurassic's got some stuff coming out as well, so...
Yep.
Robert Burke said that the T-Rex was a rogue who would abandon its young at the earliest opportunity. I know I can prove otherwise.
While we're on the subject of Jurassic, we're going to have a look back at another one of the tie-in games that come out just after The Lost World, Warpath, Jurassic Park. David, have you played Warpath?
I have not, and actually, I really don't know a lot of people who have, but I know a couple people who have, but it's really a more exclusive game. A lot of people don't really talk about it that much. But the art for it is really, really good.
Yeah, we'll get into the art in a minute. It was released in '99, so a little bit after The Lost World, but it was made by DreamWorks Interactive, who'd done the original Lost World PlayStation 2 game. Exclusive for PlayStation, as you just said, single player and multiplayer fighting game. And the gameplay is sort of, as I said, a fighting game. You get to choose a dinosaur to fight against each other. There's 8 dinosaurs, including T-Rex, Ankylosaur, and a couple others I'm not even going to try and pronounce. And you got some extra ones unlocked in arcade mode, each with their different varying fighting techniques. So I'm seeing sort of like a Tekken or a Street Fighter, but with dinosaurs. Each one has their own special move and takedown. As you said, the art, there's a lot of scenes in the a lot of art in the game from the T-Rex enclosures from Jurassic Park, the SS Venture deck from The Lost World, and a lot of other arenas as well.
Yeah, the game almost kind of reminds me of a game that came out a bit later, but was more story-based. It was for Jurassic Park 3, the Jurassic Park Dinosaur Battles game. Yep. And I played that one until I got to the Stegosaurus Bridge. I just could not get past that darn Stegosaurus. And so, but it always kind of reminded me of that, where it's a tie-in game for a movie, but it's fighting game, so it's kind of like a gladiatorial Jurassic Park game, you know?
It might this might have been sort of where the need to see the dinosaurs versus each other in the films come from.
Possibly.
Personally, I don't need to see raptors versus Triceratops or anything like that. It'd be cool to see on screen, but
Like hunting, I don't see that as much as dinosaur battling. Yeah. Like Indominus versus the T-Rex or the Spinosaurus versus the T-Rex. I see it more like something that animals do. But in the wild, animals really don't fight that much. They much prefer just to kind of roar at each other and kind of maybe scratch at each other a bit, but it's not worth the risk that either of them might kill you one or the other.
Yeah, you'll get a pack of animals go after prey when they're hungry and need food, but I'm sure there's animals out there that hunt for fun, but the vast majority, I'd say, is just to hunt when it's needed.
Yeah.
So that's Warpath. Apparently they've done pretty average across most of the IGN and other game sites. Bit of an average game. I know it comes up on eBay every now and then, so I might have to get my hands on it and give a bit of a playthrough there one day. Because like the original Lost World game, there is some very nice artwork that sort of come from it as well.
You know, Sarah has a pretty good...
It's so important to her future that you not finish that sentence, please.
So, without further ado, David, we want to get into minute 24.
Sure, man.
Alright, let's do it. As we entered the 23rd minute of The Lost World, Nick Van Allen jumped up onto a large log to take some photos of the departing stegosaurs, revealing Sarah Harding, also standing there taking photos. At the start of the 24th minute,
Sarah turns and yells, "Hey, Nick!" scaring Nick, nearly making him fall off the log. Nick laughs and says, "Kinda got the jump on us here, didn't you, Sarah?" At 23 minutes and 5 seconds, Sarah Harding climbs up over the log Nick's standing on to see Ian Malcolm standing there, a stern look on his face. 23 minutes and 8 seconds, she says to Ian, "Ian, I never thought in a million years Hammer would get you to come here." Malcolm doesn't respond. At 23 minutes and 15 seconds, she says, "Hey, Eddie," and asks him if he's got a granola bar, because she's starving. At 23 minutes and 22 seconds, Sarah walks up to Ian and starts explaining the animals they'd just seen, that they're a family group. She also explains how she's found lots of nests with crushed eggs, proving her theory that the juveniles stay off the herd for longer periods of time. At 23 minutes and 37 seconds, Malcolm lifts Sarah's backpack and asks if she's been attacked. Sarah replies, "No, it's my lucky pack. That's how it always looks." At 23 minutes and 46 seconds, as Malcolm's about to ask her something, Sarah looks over to Nick and asks, "Is that a Nikon?" and walks away, leaving Malcolm standing there, not able to finish his sentence. She calls back to him, "I'll be right back, baby, I promise." At 23 minutes and 55 seconds, the shot changes to Sarah walking up the stream, splashing in the water. Malcolm runs to catch up. At 22 minutes and 57 seconds, Malcolm calls out, "Sarah, when Hammond called you, why didn't you say something to me?" And this ends the 24th minute of The Lost World.
Alright, so we're coming off the end of the joke where Sarah scares Nick. She sees Malcolm standing there. And I never thought in a million years Hammond would get you to come here.
Yeah, she kind of gasps, and Ian Malcolm just glares daggers at her.
Yeah. Yep. There's a couple.
Weren't you going to say anything?
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't think I wouldn't find out?
Yeah, she does. She's in trouble, but she laughs it off. And the hey Eddie, and Eddie's just weird. He's like standing there and sort of half smiles and, "Hey Sarah." Do you reckon Eddie's acting a bit smitten there?
I don't really get that.
It just seems like a weird reply, like a weird answer. Anyway, I didn't Google granola bar. Asked for a granola bar, sort of small snack. A lot of energy, a lot of protein. Not much of the bad stuff. Hikers and that use them all the time. We get her. She walks up to Ian and starts talking about the family group.
Those animals just walked by. Did you see them? It's a family group, a pair bond and a sub-adult. Long after the juvenile was nest found, every egg clutch I've seen has got shells crushed and trampled. The hatchlings definitely stay in the birth environment for an extended period of time. That's conclusive. I can put that controversy to rest if I can just get a shot of the nest.
Ian's just really doesn't care. You can just see him rolling his eyes, not paying attention to all of it. And she says, so she can prove that the animals stay off the adults for a prolonged period of time. She just needs to get a shot of the nests, which means she must have only just come across the stegosaurs. She must have been off doing something else, otherwise surely she would already have photos of the nests. It's not like she's ran out of film or anything. She's still taking snaps with a camera.
Yeah, great thing about this scene is, I mentioned a couple minutes ago, that we did last week, is that she did where she just kind of just splashes down there in the water and then starts walking off down the river stream. And she's walking through the mud and the water and the sand, and she really just, it's great because she really just doesn't seem to care that she's getting her shoes wet. She's just there for the experience. She's there to get dinosaurs.
Well, that's it. No matter rain, hail, or shine, she's there experiencing the animals. So it doesn't matter what she has to put up with. She'll enjoy it because she's there doing something that no one else has the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
It's almost, thinking about it now, it's sort of almost childish. Like you have a child walk beside a stream, they'll be out knee deep and not up dry, just for the fun of it as well.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what it always, I always try to imitate as a child would be to do that kind of stuff, and I would come home muddy, of course. But I would like walk beside river streams, and my parents were always afraid I'd fall in, but I never did.
Yep. Yeah, and it's sort of, I suppose, we are in the tropics here as well, or meant to be in the tropics, so a bit of splash through some cool water would be quite refreshing as well, especially if she hasn't showered in a couple of days.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it gets pretty warm right out here right now. It's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure how that measures Celsius, but it's pretty comfortably warm.
Yeah. I think that's up around 25, 30, so yeah. No, even like here during summer and that, or you get those real humid days. It might not be that warm, but because the humidity is so high, you can sort of go and walk into the stream, and it's definitely refreshing. And it doesn't seem as cold. The water doesn't seem as cold either.
I remember walking all the way down this river when I went to summer camp one time, and I dragged a summer camp counselor along with me. And I'm just thinking nowadays about how I probably got her in so much trouble.
Oh wow!
Because we just walked down the side of this river and disappeared for like an hour. Me and a couple other kids and this camp counselor who was with us.
Just going AWOL. But yeah, we get Malcolm doesn't really isn't really interested in what Sarah's saying. Lifts up the lucky pack. Have you been attacked? Or Sarah says, no, it's me lucky pack. That's how it always looks.
Yeah. Which
is good too. And you can really see the veins starting to pop on Malcolm's head here.
Where she just kind of walks. She answers and then just walks off, and he just kind of does like a Bugs Bunny kind of thing there, where he kind of just shifts his eyes, glances at the camera real quick, twitches his nose. Bugs Bunny. And I'm just waiting on that sarcastic reply, which he starts up next minute.
Yeah. Yep. And that's it. Like he's about to say something, then she straight away onto Nick. Is that a Nikon? Before he's got a chance to respond, just walks away. Which I suppose, looking at it now, with that bag being as big as it is, with everything else, the camera around the neck's probably the only camera she took to the island, knowing full well that the team would rock up in 3 or 4 days with more equipment, more film, and all that.
Now, speaking cameras, because I just love photography in general, is that I believe it was around her neck when we first see her as a Canon.
Yep.
I can't remember what series, but Nick's camera is a Nikon, which I will admit I have a Canon, and a friend of mine has a Nikon. He takes far better photos with his Nikon than what I can take with my Canon.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is Nikons are more expensive than Canons, so you get that trade-up.
Yeah, yep. Which, if Hammond's fully funding the team to go in there and document, they'd have the best. And whether it's product placement or not, whether or not the Nikon got sponsorship for it or Canon got sponsorship for it, because I think the video camera or the camcorder that Nick's got's a Sony.
I can't remember. I'd have to look.
Yeah, I know. We'll definitely get a good shot of it when we get to the roundup scene. But yeah, again, for a documentary crew going in there to document animals now, again, 96, 97, so everything's analog and not digital.
Oh yeah. I got piles and piles of good old-fashioned paper photos laying around the house.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I've tried to begin scanning as many as I can, but there's just so many of them. You know?
Yeah. It's a big process.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to back all that stuff up. Because again, like 96, 97, we haven't got hard drives in cameras here yet. That video camera Nick's got's probably a DV camera with the little DV tapes. But I've got 2 of them here that I use quite frequently. I quite like using those, just so you got that physical recording.
Yeah.
and then you can put that in an adapter and play in the VHS or run the leads to your TV if you need to watch it. But
I'd say that's probably mostly Nick's equipment, because he was taking a ton of equipment out of his van back in Eddie's shop, and so I probably want to say that's mostly his equipment that he owns.
Yeah.
He's also a documentarian by trade, so he would have that equipment on. He would have that equipment and have the best equipment he can get on hand.
Yeah, he might have been able to buy some or update some equipment with Hammond's check,
Yeah.
but he'd have all the stuff he's familiar with using, especially in the field. You don't want to be learning how to operate a new camera or anything like that when you're there on doing a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, like if it was now, everyone would have GoPros on their shoulders. It'd be all videoed. There'd be very little photos being taken. Again, for a documentary style, like you've seen Bear Grylls and some of the behind the scenes of David Attenborough when he's out doing his stuff, and sort of you got sound guys and a couple of guys on cameras, and it makes you wonder what sort of documentation or documentary they're making, when majority of it's going to be film photo and not video.
Well, I think Hammond's plan here was just to get as much documentation, doesn't matter what the quality, but be able to get these dinosaurs out into the public mind, because that's what he really needs. He needs these animals. He needs that picture of the cute little baby Stegosaurus munching on some leaves so that he can sway public opinion to give him engine back so he can stop his nephew.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's it. The more photos you got, the less chance it's got of being sort of put down as a hoax or anything like that.
Everybody always responds to that picture of the sad puppy in the cage, you know? Everybody wants to take that puppy home, take care of him. So if they have that kind of imagery, this cute little baby Stegosaurus, this cute little baby Triceratops, and then you have pictures of them in their wild natural habitat, looking very happy, looking very content, the public opinion would be that, oh, why would you take these animals out of their natural habitat?
Yep.
You know?
And again, the backstory of it would be that they've been here doing this for 4 years without human interference. There's no need for interference now.
Exactly.
Yep. But again, she gets the camera, gets the Nikon off Nick, and again, just walking down the stream. Then you've got the rest of the guys walking up on the banks, keeping their feet dry.
Yeah.
And it sort of leads out the minute with the start of the next conversation, which we'll definitely get into next time. Sarah, when Hammond called you, that would have been an interesting conversation. I've got, you'd know you're going out with one of our former associates, Dr. Malcolm, and I'm sure you heard the rumours about Jurassic Park, and it was all true.
Well, that's the reason Sarah sought out Ian Malcolm in the first place, was because of the rumours about Jurassic Park.
Yeah, yep. And also, now just sort of saying that out loud too sort of brings me back to episode 7 a bit. Luke the Jedi, it's all true. But I don't think he would have needed to use his checkbook to get her there.
No.
Like the other ones.
What I think is she would have been more than willing to go out and see those dinosaurs.
Yep, the opportunity to see real life. They've been there for 4 years undisturbed in their own social groups and everything else. So, yeah. Alright, anything else you want to bring up from minute 24?
No, I think we're good.
Alright.
Alright, guys. Let's get the hell out of here.
Contact details are on the website, thelostworldminute.com. You can email feedback to thelostworldminute@gmail.com, Facebook, The Lost World Minute, Twitter @The Lost World Minute, and Instagram, The Lost World Minute.
Easy to remember.
Yeah, very easy to remember. Right. David, thank you for joining me for this record.
You're welcome.
And we'll be back. I've been Brad.
I'm Dave.
And we'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
It is absolutely imperative that we work with the Costa Rican Department of Biological Preserves to establish a set of rules for the preservation and isolation of that island. These creatures require our absence to survive, not our help. And if we could only step aside and trust in nature, life will find a way.